I didn't have daddy buying all my fights when I was coming up the ladder. I had to sign long-term contracts, some of them contracts I didn't want to be in order to get my fights, okay?
My name is Greg and welcome back to GK. Tonight we're going back to our roots. We're going back to the drama and the fighting related conspiracy theories that my little audience was built on. Or should I say our little audience, because we are a family, I'm just the only one that suffers. Anyway, before we get started, I just want to let everybody know that I do not know Devin Haney personally. Obviously, I don't know Jeff Mayweather personally. I don't know Bill Haney personally, nor do I know Paulie Malignaggi personally. Even though when I step outside, I can't stop the people from screaming my name and tearing up my clothes and asking for pictures and autographs. I'm just a regular fan, just like the rest of you guys. And this video is not an opinion piece. It's not facts, there's nothing verified. It's simply information that I found online that I found interesting that I'm gonna share with you because I think you'll find it interesting as well. So let's begin. Recently a video appeared on Paulie Malignaggi's YouTube channel where he talks about Devin Haney in a pretty negative light. He claims that Devin Haney is a fighter built on nepotism. He claims that Devin Haney's father, his head trainer Bill Haney, bought him fights that got him to where he is today in as fast amount of time as possible. He later went on to claim that while he was working at Showtime, he was in boardroom meetings with Showtime execs who would laugh whenever Devin Haney would fight because, well, it's open to interpretation, but in my opinion, the insinuation was that Devin Haney's fights were fixed, but you tell me what you think.
I used to work at Showtime, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in this business. I know how the business works. You know what I mean? I know what the behind the scenes talk in the business and everything. And I can remember, like, I worked with the guys who did Showbox, even if I wasn't on Showbox. And I can remember the grumblings in the production meetings and the snickering jokes in the production meetings, like, oh man, can't wait to the Devin Haney fight. And it wasn't because of the way Devin Haney fought. Okay, now me, you, and your daddy know what I'm talking about. Nobody else is going to know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to put it out there because I don't need to put it out there. Okay, but there was a reason why Showtime and the execs got psyched when you used to fight on Showtime, and it wasn't because you were a better prospect or a better fighter than all the other prospects. That's neither here nor there. I'm putting it out there so me and you know, because me and you, I'm letting you know that I know, because I used to work there and I was around those execs.
And that's pretty interesting because Paulie did work for Showtime for a long time and he does know the boxing business like the back of his hand like he claims. So him saying that does hold at least a little bit of weight. And that's one part of this little conspiracy, which in my opinion isn't anything overly nefarious because again, the boxing business is just another business. And just like any business, nepotism is involved. And if his father did indeed pay for his fights, I can't really fault him for that because if you had a son, you'd do everything in your power to make him succeed as well. And if you had just a little more resources than most, well, shit is shit. Sucks for everybody else. At the end of the day, every single successful boxer in history has people that have their back and make things happen for them. Be it their trainers, their promoters, promotional companies. All a fighter does is show up and fight. But fights don't just materialize out of thin air, it's big business. So the fight is only the top part of the iceberg. Everything that goes on beforehand to make that fight happen is underneath the water. The nefarious part of this whole thing comes courtesy of an interview I found through Reddit from Jeff Mayweather, one of Floyd Mayweather's two uncles. Back in 2010, he went on a radio show called ATG Radio and claimed that Bill Haney, Devin's father and trainer, if you've been following, was a pimp and not in a metaphorical sense. He meant that he literally had prostitutes working out of his gym, hit boxing gym. He also claimed that Bill had something bad done to one of his female fighters and implied that his life was at risk because he was speaking out. None of this is verbatim, obviously, but essentially he went on to question why Bill Haney was able to drive around in a $200,000 Bentley while not being a rapper, an athlete, an entertainer of any kind, or even a savvy businessman. Then Bill Haney ended up calling in and the two went back and forth for a while with Bill denying most of the allegations. I'll post the written interview in the description box below so you guys can read it for yourselves if you're interested. So what can we make out of all of this? Well, there's two ways to go here. Either Bill Haney was a pimp and he used all of his dirty pimp money to finance his son's career, or Jeff Mayweather was simply really mad at Bill Haney in 2010 because of some type of a disagreement that they had, and decided to lash out at him and say a bunch of things that he didn't mean. It's important to note for context that Jeff Mayweather also used to train Devin Haney, and they are on speaking terms today, so it's hard to imagine the former option being true, but who knows, it is a crazy business. With that said, that's about it for me. Like, dislike, tell me what you think in the comments. It's good for the algorithm, all that engagement and such, and as always, I will see you guys soon.